What's up, guys, and welcome back to the second channel. This one we're going to be doing another fast-paced electric bike review video on the VICTRIP Titan S. Now this is a folding fat tire, but they advertise a range of 100 miles on power assist 1, so you know we'll be riding it on number 5 or whatever the highest is, and usually we see around half that. But if this bike can do 50 miles, that will be earth-shattering compared to any e-bike video I've done. The cool thing is it came packaged just like this, no assembly required. I'll put a couple clips of the packaging in the pictures so you guys can see what that looks like. And other things in the box include your charger. This is 54.6 volts at 3 amps output. The manual, we'll go through that at the end with some pictures in case you want to be able to view that. The toolkit, didn't need it, but bring it on your first ride in case you gotta tweak anything. And then some stainless steel hardware for this little guy, which is for this little sissy bar on the back, for if you're riding with a passenger. So let me just unfold this. Just swing the bars up, lock down that clamp, and then come to the other side, swing her open and lock down the bottom clamp, slide your safety on. That's good to go. Now up top you also have a little plastic safety, because I mean this is on here pretty good, you can't pull it, but I guess it could be bumped or so. I have this little collar that you can slide over. And I'm sorry, let me correct myself. When this came in the box, the bars were actually hanging on the side. You just swing those up, drop them in. They have a minimum insertion right about there. I'll leave them all the way up for now, and then lock that guy down. Now, if you didn't already notice, the most impressive feature on this bike is the battery. It's a massive 48 volt, 3200 amp hour, or 1536 watt hour. This thing is huge. That's the first thing I did was pull it out and put it on charge. I'm thinking, how do you get it out? But look at that, they got a little fold up on the seat there, and simply slide her out. The back has a groove that slides down on this track. To slide it back in, make sure the track's lined up, drop her down, and then up on the bars you get 2 keys. So that's what locks the battery in. If you spin it to the off location, now the battery has a little pin that comes out and locks it, and we're ready to go ride. You just put it on and leave the key in there. This does come with the folding pedals. Simply swing those out, and to retract them you push in and then fold down. But another cool feature this bike has is factory passenger fold down foot pegs. Look at that. You got the seat on there. If you'd rather use this as a rack, it's simply 1 Allen you remove on the bottom, and then this slides back. When you do take that off, that's when you'd go ahead and bolt the, I'm just calling it like the sissy bar or sissy pad on there. I'm not gonna need that, but if you're riding, you know, putting your daughter on there or something, not a bad idea. Max speed on this, 28 miles an hour. You get the 20 by 4 inch fat tires, front and rear fenders from the factory, along with a nice headlight and tail light. The front and rear brakes are hydraulic disc, very heavy duty, you know, motorcycle style disc on there, and nice looking calipers. These are actually branded Die Island MT600. I probably said that wrong. No suspension in the rear, but we do have telescoping forks on the front. You have preload adjustability on the left, and then a lockout, single click lockout on the right side. It's got the Shimano 7-speed, a thumb throttle, very nice grips. Look like they'll be comfortable for long rides. And we can swing up the display screen, take the plastic off, and fire this up. All right, now you guys probably can't see too well because it's kind of dim. Here's a glance at it. I'm sure the brightness is adjustable within the settings, but it's fine. It's just hard to pick up on the camera. If you turn your headlights on, that's simply 1 press on this button. You see it does go even dimmer than that for nighttime. And then with the info button, you know, you can cycle through. You got trip, odometer, max, average, all the typical stuff. This is what the bike looks like with the seat and bars at their minimum insertion. I'm 6'3". Let's see how I look on there. Oh yeah, look, we can actually drop that down a fair bit, and that feels nice. Now I will say that the bike feels a little short lengthwise. However, I mean, this is meant to be a compact bike, so I'm good with that. Here's a glance at the acceleration on speed 1. Hammer down, no pedaling, and that brings us up to 17 mile an hour. Speed 2, 20 mile an hour. Speed 3, 24 mile an hour. Speed 4, 26. And speed 5, 29.2 miles an hour on flats, which is pretty much enough to keep up with traffic. Low tide right now. So keep in mind, as I already said, on this ride we're going to be doing full electric, no pedal assist, and I'm 180 pounds with a 30-pound backpack. So of course, if the lighter you are, the better your range is going to be. So far, pretty impressed with the handling, the brakes. I mean, those are very responsive. Lock it up, no problem. A little bit of rough stuff. You know, right up these hills like a breeze. Plenty of power on this bike. We'll hop over curbs, no problem with these 20-inch wheels. Now this does have a horn, which not a big fan of those styles because, you know, like a bell, you can politely let people know. I mean, with this, it's just a little aggressive. Handles very nicely. Fairly steep incline, and you know, no pedal, holding this power. It's actually accelerating up this without a problem. Otherwise, this trip should be mostly flat, except for maybe crossing a bridge or two. Hey, get down from there. It's a beautiful park. Cruising right along the river.
How far boarding time you would say going about like 40?
It's about 8 miles from here, probably 9 miles on the canal path.
So the time limit you would say what, like 10?
I mean,
15?
on that bike,
Yeah.
15 minutes, 20 minutes.
All right.
Hey, you guys enjoy. Oh, what beautiful weather, guys. On this flat road, we're indicating a whopping 30 mile an hour and GPS showing 29. Crossing over the canal here, and you can see at low tide all the wood that's probably 100 years old or more, and goes into the Crosswicks and then out the Delaware River. But low tide, look how clear and beautiful it is. The Delaware and Raritan Canal State Park. Anybody wants to pause that to read it, check it out. This is the last tidal creek on the Delaware River before it becomes non-tidal, the Crosswicks. River line heading down to Camden. We got a very steep incline. It's probably 10 degrees or so. She's motoring up, no problem. But speaking of, you do have pedals, so you can always jump on there to assist if need be. Go through Bordentown, some pretty cool old buildings. Lots of boats out on the river, big sandbar day. it's Sunday, so beautiful weather. Let's continue on. I did want to show you the gears on this. Here's gear 1. You can pedal this around no problem. The shifting, I didn't have to make any adjustments. That's number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Of course, you can throw it on power assist. So if we go on number 1, you can see that power kicks in right away. We're just pedaling the bike, and we go hit this hill. You know, you want to get exercise too when you ride a bike. So we're pedaling and motoring up the hill. It's you know, it's a great balance of the two. So when we stop pedaling, it takes a good second for the power to stop, and then if you start pedaling again, about the same till it kicks back in. So it's a solid second, which is normal. And we have just rolled over to 10.0 miles, right? On this really cool bank, Bordentown Banking Company. Let's see what GPS says. 9.7 miles. Oh, fairly accurate on the odometer. I'll stop into Curtin's Wharf for a quick bite to eat. Nice little establishment on the Delaware River. So continuing right along, we're at the 22-mile mark, which means probably about halfway. Guy's got his formals on display. Oh, all sorts of tractors. Sounds like a tractor dealer. So we're now coming through Delran, and then should be getting toward Palmyra pretty soon here. And we made it to the Tacony-Palmyra Bridge. Never been across this one. A little bit tight. I did see a sign that says you're supposed to walk, but I mean, that seems a little crazy. It's pretty far. Welcome to Philadelphia. Got to ride a little bit more cautious around here. unbelievable how much trash gets thrown on the ground around here. It's terrible. I'm gonna keep continuing towards Center City. Probably go down to Ben Franklin, and yeah, we'll just keep running it. Obviously, the sun's going down, so it's gonna be hard to get decent footage, but. Right there, I don't give a So we're at 58.5 miles and still showing 2 bars, but getting a little softer on the power. No, we're gonna just keep rolling until it dies. We are heading back toward home. I'm hoping we'll make it to at least Bridesburg, and then we'll we'll take the train from there. Meet up with Jen. She should be done work soon. By the way, the headlight's pretty good on this. I could aim it up a touch. And the tail light's pretty decent. Brake light is very bright. Here's a better look at the headlight. Welcome to Northeast Philadelphia. Almost to the Bridesburg station. Out of battery just as I was pulling up to the station. You see it's flashing now, and it still goes, but it's pretty much nothing. You know, it's just like a mile or two an hour. Unfortunately, got to carry it up these steps. I don't think this is a platform station either. I wasn't able to get that on camera, but the walk assist feature works pretty well. You just hold the minus, and it actually has enough batteries. You hold that down, and it'll just kind of walk yourself up these steps. I mean, I shouldn't say it walks itself right up, but if you're pushing it behind and holding that, it's much easier. I got like 5 minutes till the train comes. Right on time. Trenton R7 line. See, so carrying this bike up the steps, you know, it's pretty steep. I did go ahead and pop the battery out though. Makes it a lot lighter, but you can see this is steep getting up. So it fits right into the spot here. Didn't have to fold it. And a couple stops. Be there. See, a little easier getting off when you got the elevated platform. I got like a mile or two pedal to Jen and then be heading home. Yeah, man. Would you look at that? Folding bike fits perfectly into Jen's trunk. It was a tight fit, but squeezed it in there no problem. Oh yeah. Look at this. Looks like an eagle pooped on our car. Well, that was a fun range test and some final thoughts on this bike. You know, if you're in the market for a folding long range electric bike, definitely a giant thumbs up on the VICTRIP Titan S. Keep in mind though, with this big battery, the charge time's a lot more. It took 12.5 hours to get that fully charged. You also get extra weight. I weighed this on my scale and it showed 82 pounds. 21 of that was the battery though. But for a lot of people, having that extra range and power is very important. I did try out these pegs the other night with Jen when we got home and those worked well. I did forget to show you guys, it does have a USB out on here for charging your phone or any other accessories you might have. I'll drop a link to this bike down below in case you want to check out current pricing. And otherwise, I just want to thank you guys very much for tuning into the video, especially if you watched this far. I know sometimes we can get a little off topic in these videos, shooting different scenery and such. So if you got any feedback on what you'd like to see more or less of, always feel free to drop that down below. And I thank you guys very much for tuning in and watching. No nonsense, no how. Look at you run, boy. You're so fast. You're tired, buddy, huh? You did like 6 laps. Look at that tongue. Never seen your tongue out so long. I tell you, this scooter is the best way to wear Gus out. And I just had him do like 10 laps around 20 mile an hour. He is a darn ripper. And like usual at the end, I like to flip through the user manual to show you guys a quick glimpse in that in case you want to hit pause at all. So, should be good enough for you to read these pages. Might have to get quick with that pause button. But of course your bike is going to have this coming with it. Oh, you should need this. We'll see though. In case there's anything I didn't mention in the video, which I'm sure there's not. Gus is not happy with the lack of attention right now. Hopefully you guys can read that. Your first ride. There's something I didn't mention. The bike can safely carry a total weight of 330 pounds. And if the rear rack is on 110 pounds on that rack. It's a lot. Well, I mean, you wouldn't put a 6'3" adult on the rack, but yeah. All right, hopefully that helps.